Hey traders, this is Marco. We have another Friday, it's the 3rd of March, and usually we have a bar by bar today, but since I'm invited to a birthday party of my friend, I have to leave early. So what we will do, I will show you the current trading day, interesting setups, some channels, so that we at least have a wrap up of the week, that you see what trades were interesting on this trading day. So yeah, let's get to it. Here, this is the whole chart until this moment, and we are starting from the overnight price action. You can see during the overnight there was not too much price action. There was like some little range here, and in the early morning hours we had a huge spike up here. You can see this very strong behavior, this very strong pushes. Let me zoom in here a bit, like this. You can see from the size of the bars and also the amount of bull bars following to each other that momentum has changed from this range behavior to a stronger uptrend. So prices were going up here. This is like a slight congestion here, and we're staying within this green channel. Basically, you can find this channel by taking the low here and extend it to the last swings. So we have this low here, and I'm extending it to the last swings. So we have it from here, and just take it from there, like this. And then if the price action is progressing, you can extend the channel maybe a bit, like this, because you can see like prices fit in neatly. Then when price is progressing until this point, you can even extend it more. And this is the way I want to play with this. You can see both directions, both sides are being respected. Prices go higher here, and then we break the channel. We break this channel here for the first time. You can see there were like only bull bars, and then suddenly we get like 3 very big bear bars, and this is a nice break of this channel. But usually with this strong momentum working higher, we see a retest of the highs. That would be around this action here. So we have a first break, and as you know, I'm drawing always these shorter term trend channels here. So we have also a break of this shorter term channel with a retest of the lows. So this shorter term channel here for me played out, and then we see something interesting, because now prices are finding some support at the EMA. Here you can see how prices are going below the EMA and then bouncing above. And here we're coming to the first setup, the first interesting setup of the day. This is a higher low here. Prices made a new low here. If you consider it that these are equal lows, then it could be a failure. But since prices made a new low here, from the count, we have a higher low here. And this is a very nice trade to take, because you can see prices push above the EMA, coming back, finding some support. And look at this almost perfect bull bar, trapping in all these shorts that went inside here, and yeah, stopping them out. And there's enough space to the last highs. So this is a very nice trade to take. Then prices were working higher. Now setup here, we are far above the EMA, and we are bouncing from here. At this point, I don't have this channel here, this bigger channel yet. So we're bouncing from here, and then we can see some strong drops here below the EMA. We're coming to the EMA and dropping below it. So that shows me that this uptrend structure here played out. And we're dropping lower here. So I'm drawing my channels first like this. That could be also fine if you saw it like this. Then we have a break in your low, but then I was extending the channel a bit like this. And this one I liked as well. We also had a break here, some retest of the lows, and you can see the congestion here. There's no setup here, nothing to consider. You can see like the dojis inside this mini range here. There's no clear bias. Also, this uptrend here played out. This short-term downtrend here played out. So right now we have no idea where prices are heading to. And when we have no idea, we skip and we wait for further price action. You can see some very strong pushes lower here, but back inside the range. This we cannot take. It's way too huge bar, and we're going higher here above, breaking out of the range and staying above the EMA. Then we're forming this uptrend here. You can see like prices were trending higher here, and unfortunately this is not a trade that we can take because it's technically it's a second entry. Prices made a new high here, so first entry, second entry long right of the EMA. But look at the signal bar. The signal bar is way too bearish. We really cannot take this, and prices were breaking this channel for the first time, so we most likely see a retest and a continuation of this upwards momentum. But yeah, as I said, this signal bar, we cannot take it. So prices were going higher, making a new high. And then I started to become interested in this resistance here, because you can see that prices bounced here, and then a bit later another strong bounce here. We're coming to this level here and pushing right below once we touched it, and that's showing me that there could be a bigger structure in play. So staying to the shorter term structure, prices were pushing lower here. You can see this very big pushes below the EMA. At this point I'm not looking for any longs because the push is very strong. And this is a nice potential. If you take this low here, then we have a first entry, second entry short, but look where the bar is finishing. This bar has like 12 ticks and it's finishing so close to the lows here. If this bar here finished a bit higher, let's say like here, closer to the EMA, then I would consider taking a short here, because I know that this shorter term uptrend here played out by break new high, and we have this shorter term channel here in play. But with this finish that below, I really cannot take this trade. You can take it on engulfing setup, but I think this is still too risky, and it's also looking a bit congestive here. So really, I was fighting with this setup, but I decided not to take anything here, and yeah, it would have worked. So we have this channel working lower, first break, waiting for retest. The retest comes and we find some very strong support here. You can see prices are going lower, but they cannot break through it. You can see prices go down here and come back all the way up. Then there's a higher low, it's the same. We're finding some support here at some hidden level. If I remove that, you can see there's some support here, because prices, they cannot manage to push down. Look at this bearish bar here, starting pretty much at the EMA, working lower, and then finishing. And what's the reaction after that? There's a bull bar coming, so there's some really strong support. And then I was trying to fit some spike and channel structure. So I started from here and moved it up here, and look at this, it's fitting perfectly. So we had these touches here to the top side. Now we have some touches here to the lower side. So I really like this channel and I played it from there. We find some support here, pushing above the EMA. Let me remove this channel for now. Pushing above the EMA, finding here some potential setup. Like just from the count, this is a higher low, the same as we had here. But if you like not counting like two exact, then you can consider this as a failure. Let's say prices made a new low here. So first entry short, second entry short, failure, and we're inside this shorter term uptrend channel. You can see this very strong pushes right of this support of the channel here. So with this higher low finishing perfectly on the top, I really like the setup to take a long here. So we have a higher low here as well. Or as I said, if you're not so critical with the count, it could be treated as a failure. Then prices go higher here, breaking the shorter term channel here for the first time with a potential retest. But we're pushing a couple of legs higher here. So I decided to try some bigger channels are progressing all the time. I told this like many times, that you start with the shorter term channels and then they're progressing and develop to bigger channels. So I found this bigger channel here. So prices were pushing higher, but we're not weak enough to make a pullback to the EMA. So we finally get a break of this channel here with a second entry. Unfortunately, not right of the key entry point, not of the EMA. This bar is flying here above the EMA. It's like in no man's land pretty much. So it was very tempting to take a long here, but according to our rules, I couldn't do it. I wanted to see a nice pullback to the EMA, but it did not happen. Then prices were going sideways here. You can see prices were working in this range here. First, I started with this range here because prices were moving sideways. No setup here to consider. We had a failed breakout out of this range here. But after this strong push here, I was unsure if we can take this. I would like to see a lower high as further confirmation, but this didn't come. So we're pushing lower here. And then I was thinking, okay, this sideways action is staying. So I'm increasing the range to these lows here. And you can see like both like the highs and the lows were respected here. If you want, you can start like drawing the shorter term trend lines here. So this setup then, you can see this breakout here was interesting, but again, this is like in the middle of the range. I would like to see prices finishing more like here on the top, not so much in the middle of the range. And this bar has 10 ticks, so from like risk reward ratio, it's fine to take a trade here, but for me it was too close to the middle of the range, so I skipped this. And prices were moving sideways. Then we're finding some support here, but this is only the second test. Prices made a new low here, so this is the first test. Did I say the second test? It's the first test, because the second test would be worth to take, but this is only the first test, so I couldn't take this. And then we're leaving this this range to the top side. By the way, we can extend maybe this bigger spike and channel structure here and a bit in the range. We're leaving the range to the top side, forming some congestion, finding some support at the EMA, going higher. But as you can see, this looks very sideways. There's no clear direction here. We're pushing higher, coming back, pushing higher, coming back, pushing higher, coming back. Now we're leaving the range to the top side and also testing again the breakout. So sorry that I rushed through this very quickly. But as I said, I'm invited to some birthday party and I really have to go, and I didn't want to let you down. So I decided to make an analysis in this kind, same what Mack is doing like every day. I hope my explanations could help you identifying some interesting levels, key entry points, channels, and potential setups. And yeah, so 2 trades that I see and that I liked, this one here and this one here. With the context, the context is more to the top side, like to the upside. So we are looking for longs here. here the bias is pretty much neutral, so it can be shorts or longs. Also, if we maybe extend it a bit like this, then we see a bigger range here. But yeah, no setup here so far in this range. I hope you like it. Please subscribe, please like the video, and I wish you a great weekend and speak to you next week. See you.